Dominique Morisseau is an award-winning American playwright who explores important, complex issues such as systemic racism and economic inequality in deeply personal ways. Her work reminds us that there are real people at the heart of society's problems. She tells their stories with love, humor, strength, and a generous helping of music. Her dialogue has been described as lyrical, dynamic, and at times explosive. She memorably said of her writing, "I try to capture the poetry of our everydayness."
As an aspiring playwright, I am so inspired by Dominique. She's a testament to the power of hard work and dedication. She has broken barriers and shattered stereotypes, becoming a powerful voice for marginalized communities. Dominique is best known as the author of The Detroit Project, a 3-play cycle depicting her hometown of Detroit, Michigan at pivotal moments. Her other plays include Confederates, Pipeline, Sunset Baby, Blood at the Root, and Follow Me to Nelly's. She is also the book writer on the Broadway musical Ain't Too Proud: The Life and Times of the Temptations. Dominique's influence, however, reaches well beyond theater. She has written for television and film, including her role as co-producer of the Showtime series Shameless and writer of the film adaptation of Step for Fox Searchlight.
As future theater makers, SMTD has taught us not only how to reach our highest potential as artists, but also to use our skills to support our communities. Creating positive representation and giving back to one's hometown is a goal of so many artists, and Dominique has set an example we all can aspire to. Dominique Morisseau has a perspective-shifting superpower to paint her community as it deserves to be seen, something every playwright hopes to achieve. Dominique's long list of honors include the Steinberg Playwright Award, the Edward M. Kennedy Prize for Drama, 2 Obie Awards, and 2 Tony nominations. She was named a MacArthur Fellow and was awarded the Key to the City of Detroit. And tomorrow, she will receive an honorary Doctor of Fine Arts degree from her alma mater, the University of Michigan.
Dominique's ability to blend social commentary with compelling storytelling serves as a model for me. I hope to move forward in the industry with the same fervor and commitment that Dominique has used to change what we see as the norm on stage. I implore each and every one of the graduating seniors to do the same, regardless of where life takes us.
We are so very proud and thrilled to have Dominique here with us today.
Please welcome Dominique Morisseau.
Good morning or afternoon, I guess. See, I'm in a West Coast mentality, but I'm also global right now, so I'm all over this world with the time zones. First of all, that was such a lovely thing to hear yourself talked about like that. It's very weird, but it is also very cool. I want to say congratulations to all of you graduates and to the lovely performers that we saw today. Y'all are ready to take over this world, and I'm just gonna set you on fire to get you going, okay? I greet you on the brink of your next level. Welcome to Leveling Up. You are leaving high ground for higher ground, and you have no idea of anything for sure. You know what you hope. You know what you dream, or whatever you posted on your vision board. You know what you've always wanted, for the sky to open up and do a funky dance for you when you cross the stage, for your favorite directors to call and say that they've been waiting on you, and boom, here goes your dream role. For the streets of New York and LA, or wherever you conceive of your art, to erupt in celebration for the day you arrived, like they do at the end of The Wiz, when the Wicked Witch Eveline dies and everybody starts singing, "Can you feel a brand new day?" No? Okay. That was just me, I guess. Well, that was what I thought I wanted when I was graduating here in 2000. And when it didn't happen in the amount of time that I thought it should, which was immediate, the doubts creeped in. The insecurity monsters started gnashing their teeth and showing their claws. I was an artist with no foundation. I was a rootless graduate and terrified that the best was already done, that no one would see my magnificence, and that perhaps any affirmations of my talent were just gaslighting. It took a while, many years actually, to recognize the awesomeness of the life I was living because I couldn't see it in the moment. I was too busy stressing about the future to enjoy the present. I was fixated on destination and forgot that real life is in the living of the journey. I remember thinking, Spike Lee just needs to see me and he'll know what I already do, which is that I should be in his next movie. I was a fan of the filmmaker Gina Prince Bythewood, and who was the director of Woman King, by the way, and I just hoped I could bump into her, start popping off a monologue, and then boom, knock her socks off. I remember seeing Top Dog Underdog's Broadway premiere by Susan Laurie Parks and directed by legendary George Wolfe, who I grew up on, and leaving a note outside the Broadway theater that they performed at, hoping they'd respond, and George did, with a kind thank you and some words of encouragement, but not with what I wanted, which was, and though I didn't realize it at the time, was a transaction. I reach out to George. George likes what I wrote. George asks to meet me, loves me on the spot, and puts me on Broadway. You see a theme here. I want to tell you something before I go on. Art as a transaction is a dangerous practice. Art is the practice. Transactional art is the counter practice. Transactions behind art make art commerce, capital, capitalism, capitalization off of your deep desires to have your significance come from external validation. The danger of transactional art is that you cannot have worth, dollar amount or otherwise, unless someone else recognizes it, puts a price tag on you, and tells you, yes, you cost this much. But when your art is not transactional, when it is purposeful and laced in vision and meaning, you will defy the price tag anyone tries to slap on you. The danger of what I was doing in my many hopeful transactions was seeking someone already ahead of me in the race to reach back and pull me up to their speed. What I wasn't ever recognizing were my fellow runners, side by side in the marathon with me. They were invisible to me while I was claiming to feel invisible to the world at large. Sight, particularly in an ableist culture, is not merely visual. It is interior, what your spirit can understand when your eyes are telling a different story. When your eyes can only see as far as the top layer, the spirit sees beyond and through to all of the dimensions. Spirit is what gives art its depth. And the minute you allow a price tag to dictate your art, you give the power to the tag and not to the source. I say these things, thank you. I say these things to you guys with love because part of going out there into the exciting and sometimes intimidating unknown is learning how to listen to and trust your spirit. Even when you think you know, even when you have 10 shows already lined up, when it gets to show number 11, that doubt will creep in. When you've had an exceptional run that your friends all envy, there will come a moment of pause. It is inevitable. It is a part of everyone's career. And in that pause, this is who you really are. Not in times of abundance or affluence, but who are you in moments of pause? Our truth isn't who we are in the feast. Our truth is who we are in the famine. I am encouraging you to get to know yourselves, know your artistic spirits, know what called you to this, what made you endure 4 years of this, what made you go after what some of your parents thought was not a real career path. What happens to you when you are actively and enthusiastically practicing your art? Not when you are being applauded after the art is shared, but when you are in the act of the doing. Does your soul smile? Do you feel seen and affirmed? Do you feel free? I mean, really free. Do you feel moved and stirred? Do you feel ignited and electrified by your own righteous power? Because if yes, if ever yes, even if not always, if ever you have felt fulfilled by this, you must hold on to it and protect it from the rest of you that will sell it to the highest bidder or abandon it when shit gets too hard. If you can remember your why, you will survive the whats, the whos, the wheres, and the whens. The whens, W-H-E-Ns, will be different for each one of you. One day you, like I, will watch your friend, your peer, your former teaching partner, per se, and get a million Tonys and have the whole world, even people who hate theater and have never even seen a play in their lives, saying the name Hamilton. And you'll be like, I didn't even see this coming when we were teaching second graders together in unair-conditioned summer schools in Queens. I did not. And you may also feel like, wow, I'm really left behind. I mean, how is Lin-Manuel Miranda doing that? And I'm not anywhere close. But you may never foresee the time when he texts you on the eve of your own Broadway opening and says, Dominique, your show opens tomorrow, can't wait to see it and you. And you realize your musical is literally in the theater right next door to his. There will inevitably come a time when you see someone doing something you hope to be doing in the same time and way. When you turn on the TV and your best friend is now Uncle Clifford in P-Valley, and your sister playwright wrote the television show, and you go to yourself, will I ever? But you won't foresee when Spike Lee and Gina Prince Bythewood and George Wolfe and many others you dreamed about calling you finally all do call you on different days throughout the latest several years of your life, all with offers to work on projects that you have to decline because you are too booked and busy. Now, this isn't just name dropping, although what great commencement speech would be complete without that. This is bricklaying. This is bricklaying. What am I so busy doing that I can't work with my favorite directors? Working with my peers. Not with the already famous and already known Broadway directors to date, but with Kamilah Forbes, who I met in 2003 in New York at the 3rd Annual Hip Hop Theater Festival, which she originated with Danny Hock and Clyde Valentine, which Lin-Manuel Miranda was birthed throughout, but which was also born of her work with our dear friend and her bestie, Chadwick Boseman, who the world called T'Challa, but whom we lovingly call Chad. And Chad was a fellow artist, a peer, not the Black Panther yet, someone who we were building roots together with on the underground scene in New York City. I had no idea Kamilah would become the executive producer of the legendary world-class Apollo Theater in Harlem, or that I'd be leaving rehearsals for our new Broadway-bound musical together to come here and speak with you. When I stopped looking ahead and started looking sideways, I recognized the power of community in art making. There is no room for transactions in community building. There is only the power of our collective human voices, the power we behold as storytellers to transcend. It is no small feat to make theater, to bring stories to life that, at their best, allow us to see each other for who we really are, understand one another, make space for our collective healing for whatever might be socially broken between us. The late and formidable Harry Belafonte has said, "I am not an artist who became an activist. I am an activist who became an artist." He knew his why. He knew that art was the place by which change could happen. He knew its power and never took it for granted. To know your why is to allow yourself to be a vessel, to get out of expectation and get into the practice. For your many-layered journeys will be exclusive to you. They have a blue check next to your name that cannot be duplicated. At times, if you find yourselves comparing career trajectories and opportunities, get back to your why. Be a global artist. Know that your power reverberates around the world. Art can omit oppression, can topple dictatorships and the undoing of democracy, can have such an impact that it is no MFing joke. Don't take it lightly. Don't get lost in the sauce. Don't stop with the rejection, and don't get complacent with the acceptances. Stay passionate, stay bold, unapologetic, and remember who the hell you really are. Remember who you really are, because something brought you to this. So make bold, unapologetic, unflinching, imaginative, social-defying, humanity-inducing, liberation kind of art. It's your turn now. And as so many who came up here before me said, we waiting on you. So welcome to the next level. School of Music, Theater, and Dance's graduating class of 2023. It is time for you to level up, launch, and liberate.